Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here and I really appreciate your time. So today I am very briefly going to be giving my little 2 cents on Nick Cannon's comments concerning his belief that monogamy is a Eurocentric standard and that it is in no way how we were meant to be, how we were supposed to be. This is going to be a very brief video because I have to get back to packing. I'm getting ready to go on vacation. So I'm going to pull up a clip and we are going to be watching it together.
I'm going to have to sit, but I'm stopping it.
Really?
I'm stopping.
Are you sure? Is it the beauty of fatherhood, man? When you really talk about like the essence of living in as a father too, man. I've learned so much just from my children, man. Like, and it's so amazing. And I really just love being around my kids and just that youthful energy. It feels like you get to relive every time. And
I love that.
And I think because, you know, I've been through so much in my life, you know, physically, mentally, and spiritually, like the best place that I find is the time that I spend with my kids and the energy. And to get as much of that as possible, to pass on, you know, all that I've lived into something else. That's why I do it, man.
It's not the number of kids, though. I guess people question the different baby mothers. That's what.
Why do people question that? I mean, because that's a Eurocentric concept when you think about the ideas of like you're supposed to have this one person for the rest of your life, and really that's just the classified property when you think about it. I mean, like when you go into that mindset, if we really talking that.
Whew. Okay. I definitely was feeling when he was saying, when he started off talking about how he enjoys having so many children, and you know, he gets energy from them, he gets life from them, they, you know, keep him young. Fine, that's totally great. I feel that way sometimes too. I was just at a water park with my kids and I was in the pool playing with them the whole entire time, and it felt so much fun to be silly and have fun with them. However, when he says that having a kid, or should I say being with one person, is a Eurocentric concept, that you're only supposed to be with one person. Listen, if you do not want to be with one person and you want to have another type of relationship structure, such as polyamory or polygamy or any of those other types of relationship structures, that's absolutely fine. There's no issue with that. There's no problem with that. I think more and more people who have issues with being faithful should be open to those types of relationship structures because they are better suited for their personalities. However, on the flip side, they would of course have to understand that being in those type of relationships requires more communication and more honesty, and you know, it's not basically like a permission to cheat. You have to still be an accountable, trustworthy, honest person in a relationship with multiple people, and there's this ongoing communication between everyone about what's going on. Everyone's very open and honest, as well as if you're one of those men in particular who have issues with being faithful, you have to be open to the possibility that whoever you're partnering with may have another male partner. So that's just something to think about. A lot of times when we're talking, when I see people talking about this whole polyamory, polygamous conversation, well, not so much polygamous, because what I don't think a lot of people know or understand is the difference between the two. And polygamy is strictly about one man having multiple wives, whereas polyamory is about, you know, regardless of gender, male or female, everyone, you know, has their own set of partners and everyone knows about each other. And just quick side note, if you are one of these men considering this type of relationship structure, make sure you can afford it. Yeah, make sure you can afford to facilitate multiple women. So back to his comments. What I find to be absolutely annoying is when you have Black people who self-identify as woke and pro-Black. Whenever they decide that they no longer want to participate or agree with a certain attitude or mindset that they consider to be common knowledge, you know, amongst the Black community or whatever, instead of them just saying, hey, I don't, you know, subscribe to this anymore, this is how I feel, they always feel to put us, feel the need to put a spin on it, regarding it as, this is for white people. And a lot of times there'll be this implication that, back when we were in Africa, as if they would know, we would have been living this way. We would have been doing this. We would have been. And I think a lot of times, because there is a lack of information or ignorance to hold in place of what our ancestors were doing before they were enslaved, we kind of just fill it in with stereotypes that we think are in contrast to whatever we're doing over here now. So like, people will say things like, oh, Christianity is the white man's religion, not understanding that Christianity, Judaism, and Islam all originated back in Africa. The three major religions start in Africa. So maybe our understanding and some of the practices that we have now are absolutely results of the way Christianity was changed and morphed into something to help mentally oppress the African people that became slaves. But this idea that Christianity belongs to white people is so disrespectful to our ancestors, when we know that everything that they had, their intellectual property, their ideas, their beliefs, their religions, were taken and appropriated. So we have to stop doing that. We have to stop thinking that our ancestors were, in every way in contrast to how we are now, simply because we're doing it now. So I don't really understand that. I would say, if you're one of those people who do that, I would encourage you to do actual research on, where you may have come from, to see what country in Africa you came from, because Africa is a continent of countries. So there are people there with very different beliefs, very different ways of life, monotheistic religions and polytheistic religions. There are people who are monogamous. There are people who are not monogamous. There are patriarchies, there are matriarchies. So, African people are way more complex than a lot of African Americans stereotype them as when they're making these comparisons. So I just think when he said that, it was very strange that that's what he would use as a reason as to why he doesn't want to be in a traditional relationship structure. I mean, from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like him getting all these different models pregnant is something that seems planned out or intentional. It just seems like it's just happening. He has the money, so everything seems okay on the surface. So I think he's getting a little bit beside himself, trying to act like this was something that he thought about and he came up with this profound decision for his life. Like, no. No, I'm not buying that at all. And I think it's something to be said that oftentimes when you see, pro-black men very visibly claiming they're pro-black, their partners are oftentimes non-black. I think that's a very strange, again, place to land your flag, as if Eurocentric standards are a problem, when majority of the women you have picked, I think actually all of the women you have picked, are non-black women. But yeah, that's my opinion. Those are my thoughts. Comment below if you agree or disagree. That's completely fine. Just keep it respectful, please. And please give my video a thumbs up, as well as a share if you think someone else needs to hear my opinion. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Take care. Bye.